Hey, I'm Vanessa, and this video is going to be about moms crashing out these days, but before I get into whatever I have to say about that, I need to give you the backstory so that when I tell you my angle on it, you'll understand where I'm coming from and you'll realize I'm not just some lady talking out the side of her neck. I might know a little bit of what I'm talking about. I'm going to do all this while I keep putting away these groceries, washing my meat before it goes in the freezer. So just we're going to be moving. I'm going to be shifting the camera because it's just me doing this and everybody's going to be fine. So here's the backstory. I am in my 50s and I am from the Bronx, New York. I am the daughter of immigrants from the West Indies and they did not play. So that's where I grew up. That was the construct. So I'm a first generation American, but I grew up with West Indian parents. So I grew up like I was a West Indian, although I was in America. And so all of that stuff that our kids do, and they're like, but so and so parents let them do, that did not fly in my house because, as far as they were concerned, like our house was like a consulate of the West Indies, and it's what was happening in there was whatever they said was going to happen in there, and that's that on that. I am hot. So I'm gonna take this sweater off. So yeah, I that's the background, and so grew up in New York, and eventually accomplished my long-standing dream of becoming a pediatrician. Became a pediatrician, retired from being a pediatrician. Why? To stay home and raise my own children. Did that, married to a gentleman in the military. I'm still married to him. And I need to put my sweater somewhere. And we're back. Um, yeah, so man in the military, married to him, which meant moving. And so I retired from pediatrics to be a stay at home mom to take care of my family while we did all this moving, while he did this deploying. Not at all what I was looking forward to when I was growing up, seeing myself as a pediatrician. I was not imagining myself being married to a man who would have me traveling, much less a man in the military, because that was not my thing. And so a lot of new was going on, a lot of different, a lot of decisions that I was making that I never thought I would be making. And then, so that's 20 plus years of being a stay at home mom. I am now a family dynamics consultant, and I am helping moms figure out what these attitudes and actions are in their families, their immediate family, their family trees, that are making family very unpleasant, and how they can untangle all that and reconnect and reconfigure, and how they spearhead that. That's what I'm doing now. And I'm also making these YouTube videos. But Mara, here's the thing. Yesterday I read an article. Let me get the bag up here. Yesterday I read an article about how moms are crashing out. They are they're losing their minds because motherhood is real stressful. That's not a news flash. But they're also wanting somebody to come and save them. That's probably a loaded phrase, and I understand that there's a lot that's probably behind that, but they're wanting somebody to come save them, whether it's the government with like universal child care, or whether it's the spouse stepping up, or all of the things. Like I want my parents to be helping more. Like there's a lot of things. And I get it. That's why I gave you the background, because I done had a few different lives and a few different scenarios. I've been the working mom who's nursing. I've been the military mom. I've been the stay at home mom. So I've been the mom who's had to pick up and move and start over someplace else and get her kids acclimated. I've been all the things. And so I understand motherhood is hard, and I didn't have help because I was doing all the moving. And even if I had help, there's just a way that I like to do things. And so you'd have to want to do it the way I'm doing it if you're going to help me, because otherwise it's not really help. So I get all of that. What I wanted to say in this video is motherhood is hard. It always has been. There is no one coming to save you because you don't need saving from being a mom. Motherhood is hard, but if you're overwhelmed, you set it up that way. Caveat, I'm not talking about single mothers. Single mothers are a whole different category because you are having to do the work of two when you can't really do the work of two, because there are things that a father is responsible to impart that you can't impart, try as you might. You just can't. And so you're already working at a handicap all the time, but you're busting your butt to fill in as many gaps as you can. I'm not even talking to you. Child, bless you. I'm not talking about you. What I'm saying is, it's always been hard. And even a single mother knows that nobody's coming to save her. She actually knows that. She ain't the one talking about, I need somebody to save me, because she knows no one is coming to save her. That's why she's busy making it do what it do. What I'm just saying to us collectively that I think people have not said, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know where the idea that somebody needs to come and save you from being a mom comes from. The only thing I can think of how you get to that thought is you have mistaken choice for a decision. So, what I mean is, we talk a lot about choice. When I have children, if I have children, it's my choice, it's my body, and it's my choice. There's a lot said about that. I'm not even gonna get into all that because that's not. It's Friday when I'm doing this. I don't have time. What I'm saying is that language has expanded into motherhood. And so if you're not careful, you think that because you made a choice to have a child, you have a choice. You just made a choice to be a mom. Motherhood is not a choice, it's a decision. If you haven't made the decision to be a mother, if you have not decided I'm going to be a mother, and it's a lot. The women have been telling me for thousands of years, it is a lot. So I already know it's a lot. It's not going to be less hard for me for some reason. And there's nobody going to come make it easier for me than they've made it for all the women who've been mothers before. You understand what I'm saying? So once you grab hold of that I have decided to be a mother, when you make that decision, you lock in. And when you lock in and things come up that make certain days seem extra hard than most days, you, we don't get thrown down back to, oh my gosh, who's going to save me, and who's going to save you from what? You made a decision. You made a decision to be a mother. You made a decision to, and I think what we didn't understand, a lot of us didn't understand, motherhood is full time. It's full time. It's got to be. You're raising a person. You're raising a whole person, a developing human being who you have to teach principles to and then train them in skills that align with those principles, whatever your principles are, so that they can grow up and function in the world and contribute positively and hopefully, best as they're able, to live at peace with all people. Best as anybody can do that. That's what we're doing. You don't, that's not a side hustle. That's not something you do on the side when you get a moment, and that you delegate to other people, and then you pick up and you pour in here and there, and then that's not what it is. Now, if that's what you are trying to make it be, I understand why you are frustrated. I totally understand. I totally understand. Look, I was trying to do it. I was trying to be a whole pediatrician and have this family. Um, what? the Lord said to me, "You're gonna have to take care of your own children. I need you to just take care of your own children." And I I thought I was hearing things. I thought, "Oh my God!" I thought I was saved, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm actually crazy. But no, he was serious. And I didn't see the necessity of that. I didn't grow up with anybody doing that. All of my aunties worked. They all my mother's a nurse, my aunties are nurses. I was like, what are we doing? Why are we not why can't I do the same? And for whatever reason that he knew, he said, no, not you. You are gonna you need to stay home and raise your children. Now, when I thought about it and I thought about all the moving we're going to be doing and who's going to help my children settle in, I mean, it all made sense practically and it all makes sense spiritually. But none of it is convenient. None of it is what I asked for. But you know what I had done? I had made a decision. I had made a decision to be a mother. I didn't choose it. I made a decision, which means, as Myron Golden says, I have cut myself off from all other choices. I don't get to go back and now want to act like I'm not a mother. I decided to be one. So that's what we're doing. And I'm telling you about me, and I'm giving you that perspective to see if it helps you with yours. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm giving you something else to think about because if you're one of the ones crashing out, I need for you to calm down and I need you to see somebody who has had a career and put it down, had a very costly one, had a very, if you want, impressive one, and put it down to be a mother, and who now has another career that I even do second to being a mother because I still have a child at home that is not yet 18. And so she is still my priority over and above me making a name for myself or me serving other moms in a capacity to help them with their families. The thing was always put on my mask, take care of my family first before I come help you with yours. And you know what? I didn't lose in the process. Was it frustrating? My God, yes. There were times regularly that I questioned my decision and couldn't I have just, because for the hell I catch with these kids sometimes, I could have just sent them like everybody else does, daycare, the whole daycare, be at school all day, and I'll just see you for a few hours after. I could have done that, and sometimes wished I did, but I didn't, and I haven't suffered for it. It's actually been a lot of the material that I'm able to use as I counsel other moms. But here's the thing, part of why I have been able to do it, part of why I was able to have toddler boys that I was on duty for 24/7 when my husband was away for months. Part of how I could handle that is, number one, I had made a decision that I'm a mother, and so this is what's happening and this is what I have to do. Then second, I said, but I'm also a woman. And so that's going to mean that I have to make room for what I need. Me, myself personally, I must always make room for that. Whether my husband is home or deployed or whatever's going on, I had to make room for that. And so that meant putting them in mom's day out so I could have 3, 4 hours to go to the grocery store. I'm supposed to be putting away groceries. Go to the grocery store or just sit down on the couch and stare at the wall in silence. These are the things that I made sure I did because I had to maintain a bandwidth so that I could function as a woman and function as these kids' mother. And so there's that, right? That's number two. Number three is I'm a champion of the word no. When I say champion, I mean champion. Um, I'll say no in a second. I probably, my thing is I have to work on saying yes because I'm a quick no. I'm a quick no, but I'm a quick no because it's self preservation, because I understand the decision I made to be a mom. I understand how demanding it is. And so I don't have unlimited bandwidth to do all of the things. And when you make the decision that you're a mom, you also decide, I can't do all of the things. All of the things may mean I can't, for some people, it's I can't be a mom and hold a full time job outside the home. For some people, it means I can't be a mom the mom I decided to be and hang with my girls like I used to. We got to modify that. Who the girls are I hang with might have to change. There's a lot of decisions that are a domino effect, but the reason you can make those decisions is because of the first decision, that you are a mom and that you have decided rather to be a mom. If it's a choice for you, you can change your choice. You can change your mind. You know what? I didn't like that flavor. I'm going to try another flavor. These are not flavors, these are children. And so we decide this is what we're doing. And then as things come up, challenges, difficult as they are, then we have to make other decisions that still support the first decision. We're not renegotiating the first decision. And we're not now like, somebody please come help me do with this first decision. No, this is your child. The only person who you need to be in the face of to get them to participate in this child is your husband, if that his child, or the father of this child, wherever they may be. That's the other person who needs to be hands on. These other people that you looking to, that's not their job. It's not their job. Uh, it would be nice, it would be helpful, but you are listening to someone who has raised a family all around the country on one income, who is qualified to earn a significant income herself, but who put that aside for her own reasons and has lived this way. And we're doing all right. This ain't a palace, but we're doing all right. So, this notion, right, that I'm making choices based on what the people out there say, you got to stop that. You got to stop that. People who make decisions uh, give things careful thought. It's an internal thing. Yes, you get um, counsel from other people that you trust and you value their insight. You can see what they have to say, but at the end of the day, it has to sit well with you. But this idea that I'm comparing myself to other women and the women in the world say that I'm supposed to be a boss bee and I'm supposed to be this, that, and the third, and you're not really um, a woman if you are letting these men be the sole breadwinner in the house, and this thing where you're supposed to be competing with men, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. The other thing is, if you think that being a woman means I have to prove it by having children, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. Children are not a trophy. They're not something that you get to hold up and say, look, I'm able to have children. Children are people that you have to decide to raise. And you know what? You don't know what kind of child you're going to get. You don't know. You don't know what the circumstances will be after this child comes. Maybe you had a husband when your child was born, and then now you're divorced. Now you're a single mother. You don't know that when you make the decision. You don't know when you make the decision if your child is going to have all their fingers and all their toes, and if they're going to have the mental capacity that you had hoped they would have. You don't know that, but you make a decision. And then based on that decision, you're able to decide what you're going to do in the face of other circumstances that come up. But you are not a victim, you're a mother. And the same way, you either push that child out or you endured somebody cutting that child out of you after you made space in your body for months and all that came with that, and then all the pain that came with either childbirth or that C-section, ma'am, you are well able. You are well able. Cut this crashing out business out. What you need is to probably learn how to say no. So that when somebody comes, and the first person you got to say no to is yourself. Because whatever fantasy you have about, I just am going to keep doing what I was doing and add this child on, is error, because motherhood is a decision and that is a full-time occupation. It's full-time. You will feel the sadness if you try to squeeze that in on the side as a side hustle. It is not that. It is full-time. And if you make the decision that it's full-time, it'll bless your life. Am I telling you to be a stay-at-home mom? No. What I'm telling you is that it does require full-time attention, full-time intention, full-time availability. So unless the way your job is set up so that you're able to do those three things, then you have to reconsider some things. We didn't always live in this house. We lived in a much smaller one. We lived in one that my husband had before we married. And so he could afford that house. He didn't need me to pay for the bills in that house. And so me not contributing to that didn't make a big deal. The issue was I'm having children on that same salary. And now we are paying for more people and more mouths to eat. And so you have to be able to live smaller in order to have sanity. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes you have to live smaller in order to have sanity. And you have to tell yourself, no. No, I can't shop as much as I shop, and maybe not where I shop, but I was always cute. No, we cannot eat out as much as we were eating. But we did one night a week because that's what we could handle. And was it always fancy? No. Sometimes it was just takeout. The point was I just needed a break. No, I don't cook every day. I cook every other day. Leftovers is a thing, and we do that here. I say no to me. I say no to anybody who wants to come and put more on my plate than I can handle, because I understand the magnitude of what I'm already doing as a mom. And if I'm going to do all of that and stay in my right mind, I have got to learn how to say no. I think that's all I got for right now. You got to learn how to say no. Know how to say no to yourself so you can say no to others. You have to understand that motherhood is a decision. And as things pop up that challenge you, frustrate you, they are unexpected, you had no idea this would happen, you will have the ability to make a decision about how to handle those, because you made the decision to be a mother, and that trickles down to everything else. Stop basing your life based on what people say. People say a new thing every week. Every week it changes. You should be doing this. Now you should be doing that. Now the thing is, you should be doing this. And if you go by what people say, you will have whiplash and you will crash out. So learn how to be your own woman. Learn how to think your own thoughts. Live in your own body. Be very aware of yourself, what you need, what you can handle, how much you can handle when. Do I need to focus on being a full-time mother and then do my career after they're out the home? Does that sound sexy? No, but it sounds sane. She is sane because she's not running around here. I was not running around trying to do all of the things. Did it mean I'm not gifted? No, ma'am. Degrees are on the wall. I'm gifted. I'm smart. I'm a little smart. But I had to make a decision. And it wasn't just for them. It wasn't just for them. It was for me. Because I understood the mission. I understood that there's no one coming to save me. That these children came out of my womb. Who's coming to take care of them? Who is coming to care for them the way I would? They came out of my womb. Like, what is going on? So everybody needs help. Everybody needs somebody to come keep these kids for a few hours. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this idea of people are supposed to come save you from the day to day pressure of being a mom. No, you have to figure out who you are and what you need and how you need to set life up so that you can follow through on the decision you made and stay sane. Hey, Mama Bears, I'm hosting a live here on YouTube for any of you who have questions about motherhood or how to help your family function better. You can scan the QR code or click the link below to join me. Any other information you need is on the screen, and I look forward to seeing you there. And it does mean saying no. It's got to. It's got to. So, that's what I got to say on that. Yeah, I got a lot to do and I don't want to carry the camera around. But listen, these are some of the things that if I work with you, this is what you're going to hear. Because I want your children to be great and I want you to be great while you raise them. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel capable. I want you to stay in character. I don't want you crashing out, doing something that has been done since Eve. Life is more complicated, and you're built for it. You wouldn't be here living in this time, complicated as it is, if you were not able to be a mother in this time. You're not random, and neither are your children. You are the mother that you're supposed to be for those children. They may drive you up the wall. And maybe it's to call something out of you so that you could rise to the occasion and surprise yourself about all the goodies that were in there that you had no idea. But you don't get to uncover any of that if you still running around talking about who gonna help me and I'm overwhelmed, I'm about to crash out. Go sit down somewhere and consider all the things that you have going on and cut the fat. The stuff that you have signed up for, joined, been a part of, that takes too much mental space, takes too much bandwidth, and has you giving the people in your home leftovers, scraps. So they're kirking out because you halfway paying attention, things are falling through the cracks. And oh, by the way, you got to run around and take them everywhere to all the things. Ma'am, gather yourself. Gather yourself. Figure out what's necessary. What's necessary. I didn't say what they want, I said what's necessary. And do that. And then if you can add other things in and it doesn't rock your boat too much, great. But don't come starting out and you juggling 12 balls. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then you want help juggling the 12 balls. Nobody told you to put 12 balls in your hand. So why are you doing it? You're doing it because you're caught up, because you see people and hear people and the moms say, and you should, and did. Ma'am, that's why I told you in the beginning my background, because you need to understand that one, I'm not some chick who has never had a job and always been home and I live on the prairie. That's not me. I'm not some chick from the country who has animals. That's not me. I'm from the Bronx. Like I needed you to understand that. I'm a woman who has had ambition and has seen it through and has done all the studying and all the things and made a pivot out of a decision that I've made, and that decision has led to a domino effect of other decisions, but I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still cute. I'm still all the things that you might be concerned that you won't be if you have to make hard decisions that might not be popular with your girlfriends or with your mama or with your auntie or with your grandma. But you have to do what you have to do because you're the one who's a mother in this day and time, and it's different. It's different out here in these streets. And no one is coming to save you because you don't need saving from being a mother. You got it. If you need some help thinking that stuff through, you can always go to my website, schedule time with me, or I am doing Q&As once a month. The next one is in December, and you can register. I'm not charging you, but you can pick my brain, and I'll be sitting there for an hour to answer whoever questions show up once they register. And it'll be, however many women are on the call, on the live stream, and we just see what happens. Okay? But you don't need to be crashing out. Watch this channel. If you feel like you've been crashing out, watch this channel because I'll talk you down and I'll talk you through and I'll tell you what things you need to have in place so that you can feel like you have a handle on things instead of things are overwhelming you. All right? Okay, girl, I gotta get this done. Put my stuff in the fridge and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what I always tell you at the end of these videos. And if you're new, welcome. I fussed at you. I'm so sorry. But anyway, if you stayed this long, please remember that when it comes to you being the mother of your children, you are the woman for the job.